When William Ruto steps to the podium, something subtle happens. It's not just words, it's a method, a set of choices that turns sentences into conviction, facts into momentum, and listeners into believers. We ask, how does a single speaker move a nation? This is a look at the rhetoric, the craft, behind one of Kenya's most watched presidents. It starts with speed. Ruto often compresses long explanations into short, pointed statements. Rapid delivery can feel like certainty, like someone who has rehearsed the map of the future and refuses to wander. Fast speech shortens the distance between idea and acceptance. It's a tactic that makes the listener lean forward. But speed alone is noise unless it's paired with mastery. Observers have repeatedly noted Ruto's careful command of detail, a fluency born from long political apprenticeship and practice. Scholars who study his speeches point to deliberate rhetorical devices, humor, repetition, and rhetorical questions, used to persuade and frame his arguments. Then there's memory, the small, human detail that makes a crowd feel seen. He remembers names, remembers towns, remembers the little stories that stitch a policy to a person.
Ndio barabara itoke Mandera, ikuje Ramo, ikuje Gari, ikuje Elwak, ikuje Kobo, ikuje pale Kotulo, ikuje Tarbaj, ipitie hapa Wajia, iende Samatar, itaremuke Modogashe, ifike Isiolo, iende Nairobi, watu wa Northern Kenya wakae kama Wakenya wengine.
When a leader recalls a name correctly in public, it does more than flatter. It signals attention. It says, "You matter in a room full of many." Ruto also speaks with conviction. His phrases are not tentative. They are delivered as if the outcome already exists. Tomorrow, at this time, that forward certainty is contagious. Listeners begin to imagine the bridge, the road, the clinic, already built. Conviction, practiced and controlled, transforms hope into expectation. But a politician's promise is only as powerful as his proof. That's why the appeal to track record matters. Regularly, Ruto and his team point to infrastructure milestones, kilometers of roads, projects completed, targets met. These claims about construction and progress feature heavily in his narrative. Yet independent fact-checkers have also stepped in to examine those numbers, parsing ministerial claims against official statistics and finding variations that remind viewers, numbers tell a story, but they also invite scrutiny. Comparison is another tool in the rhetorical toolbox. Rather than outright attack, he will often place two realities side by side, then let the contrast do the work. It's a quieter persuasion. You see the gap, you draw the conclusion. This device can make modest gains look monumental and stall opponents without direct confrontation. Beneath these techniques sits storytelling. In rallies and international stages, yes, even at the United Nations, Ruto frames Kenya's challenges and ambitions through narrative arcs: struggle, action, triumph. A good story has a protagonist, an obstacle, and an outcome. He positions Kenya, and sometimes himself, in that arc. His UN addresses have mixed policy with moral clarity, aiming to take a domestic listener and turn them into a witness of a larger national project. Presidency of Kenya. Yet rhetoric is not the same as public relations. Since taking office, the government has worked to reorganize its communication machinery, trying to close the gap between what officials say and what citizens perceive. Analysts argue that improved public engagement is necessary so policies translate into lived benefits. The message is clear. Persuasive words must be matched by persuasive outreach. The Mount Kenya Times. What can we learn from this? For students of leadership, 3 lessons stand out. Prepare the detail, tell the story, and let proof follow the promise. Speed and charisma catch the eye, but memory, mastery, and measurable results keep people listening. Of course, rhetoric's power is double-edged. It can build confidence, or it can obscure complexity. For viewers, the task is to listen closely, to be inspired, but also to check the map behind the words. The man who speaks quickly, who remembers names, who compares, who insists. He teaches us something about persuasion. Not just how to speak, but how a nation listens. If you want a deeper dive, transcripts, sources, and the numbers behind the speeches, the research is there. Study the rhetoric, weigh the evidence, and decide for yourself. This has been The Rhetoric of a President.